And we're back. Multi-stream doesn't work. Twitch, I'm hitting the rack soon. You can see money from us. I wonder if chat works when I'm not streaming. I wanted to ask about that. But I forgot to. Just got like 6 new people in Discord all of a sudden. It's kind of weird. Hope they're not bots. Probably not. I don't know why I said that. Just weird that they all showed up like within the span of an hour. But anyway. Oh, they're playing video games too. So I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I was curious if you can still chat when I'm not streaming live, but I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to it. So yeah, we had an error pop up there. I gotta go at 3 is why I came back so quick. Wife and I got some things we're gonna try and take care of today. I've been having trouble with that, honestly, because there's a lot of stuff in my life that works a lot better if I do it during these kind of hours when everybody else is at work, you know, like shopping and things. Otherwise the roads get all crowded and yada yada yada. But at the same time, I do want to kind of try and uphold a stream schedule, so it's been kind of hit and miss. Maybe I should designate like Wednesday afternoon off or something so I can go to the store or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, no slots to check provided. This is... Who actually called it though? Swap slot. I'm not trying to swap anywhere. Why did somebody call swap slot? It's because I was dragging and I clicked on the... Yeah, that's going to be in main. I think we'll check out here first. Yeah, so select slot, toggle drag and drop, that's going to go to here. And, oh, these aren't else's, that's why. Else if the current slot's a socket, else if the target slot is a socket. Need some extra logic in there. Oh, looks like one of my kitty stools. We got a step. I'll be right back. I got a little... There's a step on my wall that I screwed in for the cats to jump off. Looks like it's coming out. Thank you for the follow, Jose. I'll have to fix that thing later. It looks like the screws are coming out. Anyway, that should fix this. Let's just give it a try again, see where we're at. So we can take enchants off. We can put enchants on. Items that are already enchanted are gonna already... Hey John, lunch was fine. Don't tell my wife. It was, you know, it wasn't spectacular, but it was tasty. So I'm gonna open the sockets on this guy. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to put this one here. Yeah, that all looks like it's working fine. Let's close and open. Oh, error has occurred. What's the problem here? Details UI 415. So first of all, well, I don't need to change this from a for each anymore, but let's go ahead and do if item dot enchant, yeah, and you can't do for each here, so, well, let's see, no, yeah, if IE does not equal null, and we can do that, and I think we're doing that again here, like this, so same thing, if enchant does not equal null, because now we are going to be having open slots on some of these enchants when we remove, and there's a blank spot there. And that's why I did that. I want to try and break it in any way possible. I know that right click is currently going to cause problems. On begin drag, on pointer click, if it's a middle, if it's a right click, we can add some logic for that. Otherwise, you want to do select. Do we need to have it selectable? Hopefully not. I think we can just turn that off since we've got the description next to it here. And there might be a case where this is not enough, but this is like at least 4 lines here. Something is making a weird noise. Sounds like a bird or like a mouse, or it's probably a bug, but I don't know what that is. So I can take this off and I can click on this and it's fine. I can put this one over here. Nope. Okay, see, those are the errors we want to find. So if we try to put it on a spot where there isn't already let's see, check for empty slots. So if the current item dot enchantments dot count is less than the target slot number, and we actually want count target slot number. If it's 0, we want that to be 1, so it needs to be +1 here, and this is an if. Then we want to go ahead and let's do that as a while, actually. While current item enchantments dot count is less than the target slot number +1. Let's do current slot dot item dot enchantments dot add. I'm just going to add a null in there. That should fix that. And we also want to have the case of swapping. So if current slot dot item dot enchantments dot count is greater than or equal to target slot number +1, that means it already exists, and current slot dot item dot enchantments in the target slot, if that dude is not null, That means there's an enchant in there. What's the matter? Happy? Come and say hi to the camera. This is Pee Pee Chan. Pee Pee Chan. This is our yowler. If you hear somebody yowling, usually when I first sign on in the morning, that's Pee Pee Chan. Bit of a troublemaker, but a good kitty. Uh-huh. Hey. Good kitties. Oh, I showed off my Gap hoodie. I didn't want to do that. Whatever. I don't know anything about Gap. This was a present. I wear it. It's warm. I'm just kind of worried about supporting big companies nowadays. People are so sensitive and informed on subjects that I'm not. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Wouldn't be environmentally friendly to throw it away now that it's mine. So if we've got an enchant already in the slot that we're trying to add to, we actually want to grab the current enchant. So let's do item enchant. New enchant equals inventory slot dot item dot enchantments at the, this is 0 because this is a socket. It's only got one. So we're going to grab it. We're going to inventory slot dot reset using the local client. And we're going to do all of this, basically. Is there any reason why we can't I guess in any case, we're going to want to do this. So this can go up here, which means we can get rid of this. We'll leave that. And then only in this case, when we're trying to switch one back, we want to go to inventory slot dot I guess really we could go, well no, yeah, we can just do, so in this event we'll reset it. If we're trying to swap, we'll just grab the item dot enchantments at 0 and we'll change the enchant. We've already got new enchant referenced there. And this is not a struct or anything, it's a class. So that is going to be a reference. Let's just go ahead and do new enchant. Oh yeah? Can you hear that? What's the matter? Baby John. What do you say? That's all. Meow. What's the matter? Come here. What are you doing? I don't know what you want. New enchant dot enchantments. Okay, so yeah, let's see. I can't use the same two references here, so I'm gonna go ahead and do, this is gonna be old enchant. This is gonna be enchantments, and I can do the copy. No, I don't have a copy method. Okay, let's do that. So compare item enchant struct. Why do I have this? Does anybody actually use this? There's nobody that uses this, right? Why do you exist? I don't understand. To struct. Why would anybody use that? Nobody wants that. Anyway, public item enchant, and we want to call this copy as new. So what we're going to do is create a new item enchant. Item enchant IE equals new item enchant, and let's do IE.enchant equals enchant. IE.level equals level. IE.tier equals tier. IE.rank equals rank. So these are, what do you call them? Sort of like primitives. So they're not going to be references. It's going to generate a new class using the same variables and give it to me. So I know for sure that I'm not touching the original. I'm creating a new one. Well, we just picked him up and like held him in front of the sun for like 10 minutes. I think it's just my wife went into the bedroom. They don't like it when they can't see us. We don't let them into the bedroom. What's the matter? Just wandering around yowling now. Item enchant, new enchant equals inventory slot. So yeah, we want to do copy as new. So this is the new one. And then I want to grab the old enchant, which is, this is going to be a reference of it. And I'm just going to change the old enchant. Yeah, that's just kind of not really the way we want to do that, is it? Let's go to, yeah, this guy equals current slot dot, what is it? Current slot dot item dot, whoops. Current slot dot item dot enchantments at the target slot number. And we'll do this one too, as copy as new. So it'll replace the one that we're dragging on with the old one. And then we will make sure we have enough slots, and we will, we want to, now that we've already changed this one, we can't use it anymore. We want to add the new enchant, which is a copy of the old one, onto there. Let's make sure that works. And what else did we... Item slot on click, on pointer click. If I do any of this, if game is paused, how about if type, what is it? Slot type is equal to socket, then I also want you to just return. No clicking on those. Baby-chan. The next problem, still some things I'm probably going to need to work out, but we're also going to need to look at making icons. I do have a lot of these, so I'll probably be using those. Baby-chan, no chasing your sister. So clicking, right click, and middle click doesn't do anything to these. If I take one off, that's fine. If I move him back here, oh no, that doesn't work. Did I break select slot entirely? I think I did. But I was able to take him off. Oh, okay, so yeah, select, this one needs to still work, actually, now that I think about it. This one is important. Mid-click slot. Oh, that doesn't do anything anyway. Meow, right-click slot. If it's a fluid container, if it's a redding vat, it's quick bar. Otherwise, we're going to go straight to right click. And if it's inventory, if it's interactable, otherwise we're going to do this. Else if, let's just do else if not, else if slot type does not equal inventory slot type socket. So we don't want to be able to right click. So we got rid of that. That was actually important. And I can click on this guy. Oh, right click. Put it on. Let's see. Player inventory 694. What did that disagree with? Here we go. If is set. This is for when you equip. So now there are possible null things in here. Meow. What's the matter? Come and I'll pet you. You scared of your sister? You wanna jump on my lap? Come on. What's the baby doing? Oh, deprived little kitty. What's the matter? Poor little peepee. If IE does not equal null. And add the enchants. I don't want you to be added, because that's not going to work either. Let's just do it like this. Hi, kitty. If IE equals null, you can just go ahead and continue on to the next one. If it's not null, we can do the rest of that. If it's a set, we'll add it to that. So good. That looks all fine. Okay. Hi, Yume-chan. Pretty kitty. Yume is our biter, likes to chew on stuff. She's got black stuff in her nose. That means she's always been chewing on something. Bad kitty, but she's a cutie. So what are you gonna do? Our fault for leaving socks on the floor sometimes. So I can take that off, I can put it back on, I can take it off, and I can put it back on here as well. I can right click this guy while that's open and it'll fix itself up. I can't socket stuff while I'm wearing it, but it does save that properly, and it switched back to this immediately. Interesting. That's not right. I just dragged that off and it went straight to that. So that's not what we want. Sockets. Interesting. So when we go to refresh, is that the problem? Refresh is getting called on socket UI, which is good, but if current slot equals null, or the current slot.item equals null, or it's not something that can be socketed, let's go ahead and set current slot to equal null and return, so we don't get that coming back onto things we weren't expecting to. Yeah, I've always raised cats in pairs until we moved into this house, and actually just before we moved here, Yume here was picked up by my younger brother-in-law as a police officer, so we took her in. And Tabi, our orange cat, we found him out in the garden. He was abandoned. I actually found one of his siblings on death's door. We put him in a vet's care for like 3 days, but he died. He just didn't have any blood left in his system. Yeah. And then there was one more kitty that I think was Tabi's sister. We tried to catch her with a drop net thing, but she got away. And after we scared her once, she never came back. There are strays out here, though. I kind of wonder if sometimes one of them isn't that cat. But anyway, they're very different. So we have 4 cats now. And they're all very different. It's pretty interesting when you've got so many of them to look at. So I can take that off, I can put it on. If I bring this back, it doesn't immediately go there, which is good. The sockets window is still open though. That's kind of not really what we want. If the current slot is null, yeah, refresh. We actually want to, I think we want a game object set active to be false. In any of these cases, so this whole window just goes back to being empty. But other than that, it looks fine. One thing we can't do is this. You have to take it off and put it back on. We could fix that though. Pipi, Yume, Tabi, and that's Pearl on camera there, the gray kitty. Yume means dream, because when Yume was just a little kitty, she was a baby, and we tried to bottle feed her, and she bit the bottle, like the nipple, off and swallowed it. So we didn't do that anymore. But she used to do the twitching and like when she was dreaming, so we named her Yume. And Tabi means journey, because we don't know where Tabi came from. He just showed up in our garden one day and I grabbed him. And I'm no stranger to cats. We looked for mom, but there were no other cats. And there was no mom, so I don't know. 2 weeks later, 2 other cats showed up on our back doorstep. And like I said, one of them was half dead, and I took him to the vet. But he just didn't have any blood left in his system. The fleas had eaten him alive. And the third cat we scared. And never saw again. Main UI 123 item slot 60. Main UI 1233. I'd prefer it didn't send these warnings out constantly. If people are clicking on that, bogs the server logs and stuff up. Which is here. If slot type equals this, what are we doing? Item selected. This is item details UI. So yeah, we don't want to do this. Since we've got the descriptions next to them. Slot or slot type is equal to socket. That should prevent that. And again, if we put that on, it didn't close it actually. Did I not? Maybe I didn't recompile that yet. Let's try it once more. What's up, Katie? Send me your Amazon wish list things. I sent a request to your email. Cool. I'll send you a link to that. That's my sister, Katie Postlethwaite. Dogs are very common in Japan. They're usually smaller because Japan's just doesn't have the big yards that America and other places do. My wife's parents have a dog. It's like a half size, medium-sized dog. You got a wish list for your little one there, Katie? We packaged that box so long ago, I forget what we put in there. Was there a Disneyland soap was in there, I think? Was the thing that I was having trouble remembering properly. Some frozen Elsa soap we picked up in Tokyo Disneyland. Tried to send to my niece. So when I put this on, it closes it. So yeah, that's good. It doesn't open back up if we do that. If we select it and open socket, illuminates the area around you. That's the description though. That's not the actual statistic, which would be like this guy here, light +5. So we want to add that too. And I guess this really should be the name, sort of like this. So let's do that. It is correct in the item details UI, so we can take it from here, which is this stuff. I don't really need all of that fancy bit though. Let's go straight to yeah, it's kind of simplistic right now. I want to actually make a second enchant or two to have a light range. And actually to have different torches too that you can make, because we've only got our one wood torch thing that you just craft once and forget about. But we definitely want to have different light sources, so like you can make stronger torches and far reaching torches, that kind of stuff. And maybe they're torch specific enchants, or maybe you have a torch and then you put like a magical light source in it, and so then crafting those light sources is like a socket. Yeah, and a throwable light too. That was always going to be like a general spell. That's what I think there's still the soul category in skills. I was always going to put some like jump and run speed, some basic things, like maybe only get a point every 5 levels kind of stuff. But then to have like a light spell where you could cast a light and it would maybe go out forward really slow or stay where you put it for 5 minutes or something like that. We're looking at the description here. So this is not what we want. We want the enchant name, and we want it to first be L plus enchant dot level plus a space in T plus enchant dot tier. And does it actually do? I think it actually prints out. I guess we can just look at it. Item details UI. Yeah, it actually adds this stuff here. We can go ahead and copy that, because that is the best way to do it. So we can leave that like this for the moment. We'll do a switch for the enchant. Enchant dot rank, and if it's case or do we just color it? Yeah, they're supposed to be planes. There's so much about the game that has changed since I started that I really haven't updated the story in my head to better fit. Like I had a plot and a story, but stuff has changed so much that I need to update some of my ideas as to what the actual story and explanation for that, why you're there goes, but it's kind of supposed to be like we would call planes of reality, not necessarily physical reality. And so then there's supposed to be beneficial planes and darker planes, elemental planes, demonic planes. I hope to get into it in time. I think don't really want to do a case here, to be honest. Let's do if enchant rank equals 0, and then we'll just do this guy plus equals that, and then we don't need any of this, and we can go like that. Get rid of all of this. Plus enchant dot no, let's see, template dot name. I think that'll work better, and we've got the rarities showing up even though we're not testing that properly, so we better get to making something, actually getting a real enchant going. I'll just do strength for now. Yeah, I would like to add like a second sun, honestly, and maybe like 2 more moons, and have them all kind of rotate on their own, and then have, different things in different planes. And it doesn't make sense necessarily that they exist in a plane, right? Have you ever heard of Greg Bear's books Eon and Eternity, which have a concept called the Way? Legacy is the prequel that was really not as good as the first 2 in my opinion, but the concept is that there's this super futuristic civilization, humans in the future, and they have this singularity that pierces time-space, and they live and build on the surface of the inside, like the singularity creates around it this space, and the further you move down the singularity, the further you're moving in time. But then it's actually like physical space, so they build cities on the inner walls of this non-space present physical reality, and then through the center of this travels this light source, which is like, it's just like this big plasma singularity. And there's actually some really cool art I've seen before, because the books are just amazing. But this kind of stuff, it's kind of like a ring world, which was a whole nother concept. The ring world series was, I don't think I ever read those, but some people had some really cool concept art for those. And I always wanted to get that in there, and I actually programmed pretty heavily to get terrains to wrap like this around an interior, and I really want to get that into the game at some point so that it loops when you go around it like this, but gravity's constantly outward, and there's some super weird challenges to doing it, but it's really fun, and I just really like the concept of being able to see really far away. But in this case, you'd actually be able to see all the way to the other side, because it's only 50 kilometers wide in the books. And Greg Bear is a cool dude. He's got some really good books. But yeah, Eon and Eternity are the two main books of this. Eon's the first one. I've got 3 copies of this probably. One on my shelf back there. And I've read it 4 times or something. It's hands down my favorite book. But it's actually set in modern. It's like the year's 1999 or something. And then this asteroid appears, and it's all this strife between what happened to this future civilization and all this, it's really hard sci-fi mixed with like modern normal science. It's really, really good books. He's got some really cool books too, like God Does Battle. What's the other one? Anvil of Stars. Really good books. Really cool author. Yeah, I used to listen to a lot of audiobooks too. Ever since I got into programming, I started listening to a lot of techno, because the words confuse me. Like if I'm trying to focus on something, I sing along in my head if I hear words. So I stopped listening to books, unfortunately. I used to have them in my car all the time, though, too, and I don't drive anymore, so got rid of that. Used to have that 45-minute commute that I don't anymore, which is super awesome. Let's take a peek, see how that worked. I've put on some weight in the past 3 years, though, doing this. Not terrible. Maybe 10 pounds, 5 kilos, and it's all right on my stomach. So it's great. I don't have a belly, but I'm not as fit as I used to be. So these again, there's no space there. That's a bummer. Definitely want to put, and in any case, we really should make this be our default. So we'll start out with, if it's uncommon, it's going to go here, and this is an else. So if any of those don't work, there's always at least something going on, in which case we can add a space to the end of this, because we know something is going to happen. And so what I want to do is try and actually craft a better enchant, and I don't think, I do have points. Okay, so let's get minor strength, and I should now be able to, and I didn't make an icon for it, but that's alright. Should now know how to make this. I just need some rubies. Pardon me a moment while I cheat in some rubies. Actually I don't know. Let's see. I think this is what I wanted to do. I want an uncommon ruby. There we go. So I'm going to make that. And I don't have an icon set up for it, but it should give me an uncommon minor strength socket now. Cool. So now if I open this up, I should be able to put this on here. And again, the icon doesn't work, but it did do the green border. So that's as expected. I do think we should do the green text, though. I'm worried that will be hard to read if it's red, but I don't think so. So let's give it a try. I'll go ahead and save that. And meow. Tabby doesn't know how to get down. You need a hand, kitty? You stuck up there? What are you doing? resources, icons, enchants. We're doing minor strength. So I'm going to duplicate that and just give it a socket. And we want to add the text color. So it's not text, it's color equals. You did jump down. Good job, Kitty. In this case, it's green. In this case, it is cyan. In this case, it is magenta. And in this case, it is red. In this case, it is white. So we should now have a minor strength socket on our chest piece in green text with a green outline. And this should also work for everybody that's got anything enchanted already. They'll now be able to be pulled off as sockets. The only thing we're missing is icons. So now we can actually start to make some new stuff. The ultimate goal of this is to get some more stuff onto these skill trees. Leatherworking, tailoring, so we can make sockets that aren't necessarily enchants. So there we go. Uncommon, minor strength, level 0, tier 0. I can take it off. Let's try and swap. Well, that's no good. Right-clicking while I'm holding is causing an error. Okay, so we can swap this, right? Oh, it made that one uncommon, unfortunately. Nobody minds that, I'd bet, but not what we want. So let's take a peek at that, too. That would be our swap. New enchant equals the old enchant copied as new. That worked fine. The copy is new. How did that not work? Inventory slot item dot enchantments 0 equals current slot item enchantments target slot number copy is new. That is correct, right? Enchant level tier rank. What went wrong there? Copy is new. Should have grabbed the white common level 0 tier 0 light spell and moved it down onto there, but it didn't. Or no, it only changed the enchant. That's the problem. It didn't change the item itself, which was also storing that data. So we want to do inventory slot dot item dot level is equal to this guy dot level and tier and rarity. What is it, rank? There we go. That should fix that. There is actually. I think you have to press V. And you can push, I think, F9 to hide the interface. My fault for not explaining these things somewhere better. Meow. Yeah, V will let you look around and you can still zoom in and zoom out. And F9 gets rid of the interface if you want to take a screenshot. I gotta get them so they stop doing that combat dance every time you log in. Bothers me. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to swap it, and it's working fine now. And then we did click while right dragging. What was it? Right click while dragging, which is main UI, right click slot if dragging. Maybe I should test that. Peepy-chan, what are you doing? Peepy-chan. I think my wife's on a phone call. The cat's yowling outside the door. What are you doing? You're a noisy kitty. Quit being so noisy. You know you're not allowed in the bedroom. It's not how it works. You know that's how it works. Go sleep with your brothers over there. Look at how happy they are. Was it this? No, it's not this. It was... How about this? No, that works fine. Right click, no. So it was while I'm dragging one of these guys, and I right click here. Okay. I need to fix my seat. I've got it on maximum angle. It's starting to hurt my back. No slots to check provided, no reference error. Which was first? No slots provided to check. On inventory slot 130. Not item slot, inventory slot. Oh goodness. Item slot is where it starts at 57. So if we right click, there's just no instances where we need to do that. And double check that again. I also need to get a character editor set up. I mean, you know, so like once you made a character, you can go in and tweak them. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do that in game. Well, I could. I'm a lot better at programming than when I made the character creator. I could set that up pretty easy, to be honest. But would be easier, I think, out just if you did it back on the start menu. If you could select a character and then tell it to edit it. So this is fine. That doesn't work. Okay, so it's getting all the way to swap there. And this doesn't work either, of course. Okay, so this is not the problem. The real problem is when we pass through this, we get to here. And we are currently dragging, and let's see, that's going to be all the way down to here, isn't it? Else, right click slot. So if we are dragging, if we are dragging, if the current slot type is equal to inventory slot type, give it to me, dot socket, then we just want you to go ahead and return current slot type. Okay, that should fix that. Yeah, like I could copy most of that code. Or yeah, rebuild it a bit so it's more not that instance based, but it can affect any sort of character you're interacting with, so you can do it in runtime. What's the matter? You're just beside yourself with grief, aren't you, Pee-Pee? That you can't go into the bedroom. See Pee-Pee's little tail. It just got this little tail. Little tail. Quit yowling. What are you yowling for? You're fine. Go wriggle in the sun. Huh? What's the matter? Cutting into my work hours, BP. Just want to test that out. Right click, right click, right click. It's fine now. Okay, so I think everything is working as expected. I can swap and place stuff however I want. I can't immediately do this, but it's not a big deal. There's no actual reason to be doing that other than organization, and if you really want to do that, you can take them off and put them back on. And if we select the dude, we can see that he's got light, strength, and light on there. Does it actually update if I put that on there? It deselects it, but if I look at it again, it's there properly. So everything looks like it's working good. And again, this will just retroactively work with anything that's already enchanted. So biggest thing now is the icons and new sockets. So let's see, we got actually quite a few. I'm going to leave this open. Open another one. And let's go look at our resources, icons, enchants. We've got quite a few of these. And the new ones that we're going to make aren't necessarily all going to be gems. And in fact, well, these guys, I mean, those are fine like that, right? Logging luck, logging strength, those look like sockets. These guys do not. I like their little skill icons, but I think they should be using gems like these. Say we've got minor, normal, and then like major, and then I can just recolor all of these, for example. Is that too big? Is there a better medium? Who's the smallest? Because I can color them all, however. It's either you or you. Maybe 1, 2, and then like 3. Those aren't bad. We can use those for the attributes. So this is going to be... These don't have black backgrounds. Baby John, what's the matter? Minor... this is wisdom. Right, minor wisdom socket, sorry. What's the matter? This is wisdom socket. And this will be major. Oh yeah. Yeah. Did I spell that right? I did. Major. Let's look at the actual ingredients because I don't necessarily have them all remembered. These dudes are all an herb and a gem. And then these are 3 gems and 5 gems. These dudes are... Oh, those are potions, sorry. Attributes. And I made... I made minor and major, right? Agility, did I not? Am I making that up in my head? Major intelligence. Minor intelligence too, right? There's minor intelligence, yeah. Minor, major, and I guess the recipes are actually in here. But I'm just curious why that's only 1. What are crafting, enchant template generator. Minor has 1 ruby. Normal has 2 rubies. And major has 1 ruby and 1 light. That's not... I don't think that that's enough. Because you can get like 10 rubies from 1 thing. We've got 2 here and 2 light for this strength. And then major strength's got 1 ruby and 1 light. So I just messed that up somewhere. That's all that is. That doesn't make any sense. Let's... Yeah, that's a programming concept I'm not good at working with, setting up tests for everything. And the way I've built the game, too, doesn't really play into that very well, unfortunately. Let's see if I can find all the 2s. Right? And make them 3s. Now, is there a minor health? I don't think so. Right. So, now I want to do the majors. These guys, that's why I have the comma. These guys need to be 5. Oops, and see I'm changing something there that I don't want to. Sorry. What is that? Where am I? Let's go back 1 more. Reposition ourselves. You are fine. And then it's F3 to skip. Okay. That's better. So 1 through 5. And we'll use those for our enchants. Well, I don't have a ton of testing that I do anymore, honestly. Big thanks to Art and everybody that has been posting on the bug tracker for me, which actually I haven't looked at in a couple of days. I think there was somebody that updated one of the... was having trouble with the workshop. Other people playing the game is such a boon for me. The Vault Christian reported on checking monks marked as minor fixed graphing. I'm not clear as which trying report. Stephen, we're trying numbers. Fault reported as a related experience in creative mode. It would seem sensible to apply your proposed upgrade to creative as well, simply because the quests accept Achievements of level 1 hatchet when you can get smithing station upgraded. Can I also point out that in normal SP mode, whilst masonry points are gained from stone, they're apparently no ways to achieve skill points. I currently have 12 masonry points available, but this guy just kind of skips over his words. But no means to use them. Even the slider bars are partially full, but no details nor icons. Same applies to alchemy. This is correct. Thank you for replying. I replied to this via Bitbucket. I'm having problems with watering a planter. Although I have a watering can with one computer, equip watering can. It's just a bummer when you put all of these bugs underneath a different bug. That's not how the tracker works. I have a watering can in the toolbar at base of my normal screen, but it doesn't seem to do anything, and it's not how you use it. I can see what resembles a watering can on the lower left hand of inventory screen, but can't drag anything into it. I think basically I need to understand exactly what equipping means. I'll just reply to this dude real quick here. Equipping is only handled via the equipment windows on the left of the inventory. Dragging something down onto the hotbar has nothing to do with equipping. In order to water crops, planters, you need to equip a watering can by dragging it into the appropriate slot under the harvesting equipment tab, after which you can simply interact with crops and planters to water them, assuming there is water in the watering can. If you could please create a new issue for any problems you'd like addressed, rather than posting multiple problems within a single issue. That helps me track and update close issues as I go through them. Furthermore, also beta, the current main... Hi, baby. Oh, yeah, you gonna come sit on me? You just bored? Slept too much? Also, the current main focus of... Yeah, you can sleep on my lap. Also the current main focus of development in the beta is our masonry, alchemy, etc. skill trees. I've already got 10 plus new potions added to alchemy, a variety of new skills on the masonry tree, and some things, etc. Once they are tested and working well, I will push them to the main live default branch. I think I can close this. Still not really clear what he's talking about here. Um, I'm just gonna close this because yeah, I'm pretty sure I fixed everything he's talking about, and it's just kind of open-ended things that we're working on at the moment, and this and that. But anyway, my water has boiled. I'm gonna make a drink real quick. Be right back. Probably still see me on camera. So, there's some pretty good community videos, and honestly, that's probably answered on the wiki. Just a lot of people don't know about this and that, and what and not. I've never really spent time working on this personally, so absolutely cannot complain about the state of it. Yeah, there's nothing to do with farming yet, unfortunately. But so let's see, what else can we do? We got some gems that will color for these guys. They all do use gems though, so we could just do different colored gems, or melee. Let's see, yeah, speed, range, and magic could all just be different colored. Speed, damage, and proficiency. Melee, range, magic, and healing. That would leave just these guys. And these guys don't even use gems. They use that stuff. And actually, they look like runes. I don't think that we need to... We can just copy those icons. These guys look fine on their own, I think. So that would leave these guys who do use gems. So they can probably just be a different type of gem as well, even though there's quite a few of them. But let's go ahead and see what we want. We want 3 for speed, damage, and proficiency. Quick hint too, proficiency. No, never mind, it does work. Just kidding. Speed, what was it? Speed, damage, and proficiency. And it doesn't matter, whatever, just as long as they don't look the same. Are some of these the same? Like there's that triangle. There's also a triangle up here, wasn't there earlier, that I had selected? Where did that go? Are those different triangles? I think they are all slightly different. There's one right up at the top I had. This guy. There he is. Is this one the same as this one? He's not, is he? Okay. So they're all slightly different. So it shouldn't matter what I grab, as long as I grab something different, then we can color them different. So let's say this is speed. This is strength. And something a little more like this is proficiency. The ones we just copied over were these 3. This guy. So that's different. That's different. And then I think this guy maybe? Or maybe this guy? This can be what? Physical speed socket. Is it gonna... Or what is he? Melee speed socket, was it? Melee... Speed, melee damage. Melee speed. Why am I not seeing melee speed? Melee damage. Looks like I didn't actually make these. These were just proposed, I guess. What's going on here? Right, I had to branch them into classes. Now I remember that. So damage is over there. Speed just is named differently. And then proficiency was abandoned. No, they're also called by class. Okay, so this one is not melee speed. He is Squire. Speed socket. Okay. And these actually are a bit silly, but that's fine. This is going to be Squire proficiency socket. And this is going to be Squire. No, this one is actually melee damage socket. Right? Okay. Then we've also got these guys, which we're just going to copy and paste those. So let's go in order here. Logging. That's not how duplicate works, huh? Let's do it over here. Did I change something? I don't remember changing anything. It's recompiling. Take a sip of tea. Where are you located in the world, John? If you don't mind me asking. Logging luck, logging strength. This is now socket. Let's copy that. For hastily. Oh, you're not gonna let me click down. You know when it does that. Silicon Valley, wow. Let's be a fun place. If I had an actual salary. Haha. Let's go ahead and mark these guys as sprites, even though I'm going to change them all. Just because that's bothering me. We did logging. What else we got? Mining. Where's mining? Mining lunk. Mining strength. I was in California just a couple years ago for a wedding. It's very nice. Yeah, I'm from Seattle, which Amazon just took over the past 10 years, and apparently all my high school buddies and everybody still live there, and it just sounds ridiculous. Like they're like, "Oh, I make this much a year," and I'm like, "Dude, that's awesome! Congratulations!" And they're like, "Well, yeah, but my cost of living is like 90% of that." It's like, oh, man. Quarrying. I live out in the boonies in Japan, so my cost of living is necessarily low. So I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't live out here. And I don't have any lack. We have quality water, quality air, expensive restaurants. It's just our mortgage isn't $4,000 a month. Reaping, skinning. We got really lucky with this house, though. Japanese people tend to not buy used stuff very much, including houses. They tend to break them down and build a new house, which is good for the market, and it's kind of built on a culture that used to have poor construction policies, which they don't anymore, due to earthquakes over the decades. Construction is very strict and solid over here now. But our house is like 29 years old now or something, so they thought we were just going to tear it down and basically just sold us the land. Like, even that the house was here was almost like a minus, because we would have to pay to have it teared down so we could build a new house. But we're like, no, we'll take it. There's nothing wrong with the house. We've had a blast here building, because we know nobody's going to buy this house off of us. We can sell the land, of course, but the cats have messed up some of the walls, and we've put holes all over the walls, but we don't care. We're not renters, so it's been nice. We painted all. I mean, you can see the whole TV area there. We built that whole thing. It was just this big. It was just a wall. We've got random stuff we've just attached to things all over the place. So let's open some of these up. I copied all of those. They should be working as expected. I mean, really it's not, but it actually is, because they're building a bridge, like right next to my neighbors. They're building this big bypass, which the city really needs, because we live right on a river, so to cross the river, there's only like one or two like main big bridges, and they just get swamped during the rush hours, and it's really bad. So they're building this huge bypass, and they've been building it for like since before we even started moving in. We've been here, we're in our 4th year here now, I think, and they're still they're just finally, they put all the steel up. They're going to have to start building the road over the steel somehow pretty soon here, I guess. I mean, it's probably still got 2 or 3 years before they finish it, but it's noisy construction, unfortunately. Big pounding machines. The area isn't noisy, though. That was actually one of the reasons we moved out here. We lived in apartment in the city, and it was just I couldn't sleep. It was so noisy. All dogs everywhere, and because it was just really compact. Out here is a lot more countryside, so there's space between all the houses, and we only have a river to our left, and there's a field to the east of here. So, and there's an old lady that lives next door here that just never even see her. She's quiet as a gnat. And then the family next door is just a mom and dad and a son. They don't make any noise. Nobody has any dogs or anything, so it's been really nice. I don't mind dogs, but just when people don't take care of their dogs and they just bark all day, and if they don't train them right, dogs can be a nightmare. COVID has been pretty non-existent. Out here, there's been some cases not too far from here, like a couple of cities away. Some high school will get infected or something like that. But nothing nearby us anywhere yet. Tokyo, of course, has had a lot of cases, but even then it's nothing compared to the U.S. We're Some people aren't willing to take it seriously, unfortunately. Over here it's been everybody that's, most of the cases are like 20-year-olds, because they just don't take care of themselves like they're supposed to. Think they're above it. And get sick. So if this is going to be melee damage, and it's control U to get to Hue, so I want to just be doing that to speed things up. First I want to shift this guy to red. And that's a bit, can't really quite get him right where I want him. But that's fine. Let's put him about like that. I will do a save. It's going to yell at me because I've got a layer open, which honestly I don't need. It's just black, and I'll do save. And now we will do 4 more of these. So control U. We want to do ranged, which I think goes best as green, with a little bit of yellowy, no, mostly green. This will be ranged damage, and control U. Then we want yellow. Still pretty greeny, kind of ready. Magic damage. Could do purple. And then blue will be healing. Oops, I just did save. Dang it. That's melee. This is healing. I hit Control S just out of habit, non-stop. I think yellow is best for magic damage, even if this is kinda spread all over the place. Magic. Alright, done with you. Minor wisdom. Let's go to proficiency first. So this is actually, let's merge it down. You know, we wear our masks, and there's a disinfectant in any restaurant, any supermarket, anywhere you go. People wear their masks when they get up to go to the bathroom, you know, anything like that. It's pretty normal over here, honestly, because just Japanese culture has done that just for being, even if you just have a cold, people have done that for decades. It's just how we do it over here. So it really hasn't, I mean, we've just been more strict about it, you know, and actually putting up signs to say, wear your mask. But people do anyway, so it really hasn't been a very different life over here. But there are still, unfortunately, people dying, so it is a very real thing. This is blue as is. I think we can go straight to Disciple. And we'll go to red for Squire, which is just Control S. Back to you. We'll go yellow for Apprentice. And back to you, we'll go green for Scout. Yeah, it's a bummer that some people just aren't willing to listen to... I mean, even if the science is wrong, it's like... Is it so hard to put forth a little bit of effort to try and maybe save somebody's life? That was the real problem with it. Even if there was some back and forth, and then they ended up saying that they were kind of actually lying about the masks because they wanted to make sure that hospitals would get their masks first and this and that. And it's like, no, you can't just lie to everybody. There was definitely some good and bad about the way stuff was handled here and there, but it's just unfortunate to see some people aren't willing to put forth any effort. Apprentice. This is Scout. And bluish for our disciples. And I think that's all of those. So now we're down to minor, wisdom, and major. So this is, let's see, let's merge you down. You are wisdom at the moment. I'm going to move you over to stamina. Yeah, I'll go one by one. And what else do we got? Red for melee. Or strength. Already exists. Oh yeah, I copied that one over. That was my test. Minor strength. There you are. You be gone. And who's left? Intelligence. Dexterity. And is that everybody? Yeah, back to wisdom. So that should be good. You, sir, are wisdom. We merged you down already. I'll save you. Might not have saved the last one. Let's look at that. Was it minor wisdom? Minor wisdom. Yeah, we did not. I want you to have your black background, please. Merge down, save, okay. It's Friday, back's killing me. How about we sit up? If I put the mic up and in my face, it makes me sit up. Hue, saturation. So this guy's going to be whoever's next. Stamina. The sun has finally shown up. Starting to warm up. Need some vitamin D. Apparently, vitamin D is very important to fight le corona. Vitamin D and zinc. Zinc is well known to be efficient virus fighter. Maybe not well known, but slowly growing body of truth, body of evidence to back that up. Strength socket. Best way to get vitamin D, of course, is sunshine. But it's also a source of radiation, of course, so you can't burn yourself. And some of the old suntan lotions, they say, are terrible for you, of course, too, so you can't win, you know? Dexterity. I didn't do agility, did I? I think I passed over agility for all of these. Agility, let's do wisdom. We're back at wisdom. So yeah, agility is orangey, which is kind of in between. Kind of hard to get. Maybe I can tone the red down on this guy a little bit. Or what? What adds? Is it green? Is it a little more yellow? Red and yellow. There we go. That looks more orangey. Well, you wish that there were, smart people in the world that spent their lives studying things, and then they could just tell you what's good and what's bad, but it seems like what's good and what's bad changes every once in a while. I heard, Weight Watchers changed eggs to be a 0-point food. You know, and they used to always say, oh, cholesterol is so bad for you. Can't eat more than so many eggs in a day. Now they say the cholesterol in eggs is like one of the best things that you can put into your body, because it's actually what regulates all of these different minerals and vitamins throughout your body. And if you have high cholesterol of the bad type, it's actually not because your cholesterol intake is bad. It's caused by these other factors. And so even Weight Watchers now says you can eat as many eggs as you want all day, every day, and it's just because they're so good for you. You know, and people used to cut the yolks out because the yolks are bad for you, you know, and wasn't there a Woody Harrelson movie? Woody Harrelson, yeah, where he's like in the future and they just eat like bacon grease all day because it's just like the best thing in the world for you. You know, one day we'll find that out. That turns out pizza's a miracle food. I would love that. Maybe not pizza, but I would love that. Did I get all of these? Agility, socket there. I think he's good. I think I need to go back to... I don't think I got a minor agility. I got a minor intelligence. He's kind of orangey himself. Let's open that guy up. There's not an agility here. Maybe we'll move this guy to be a little bit more yellowy. And then save him. And then we'll back that off a little bit to get more back to our orangey. Here, like that, and we'll call him our agility. That's kind of the gist of it, really. And I've learned to don't eat and then go to bed right away, because that's really bad for you. Don't lie down, I guess, is kind of the big one. Really messes with your stomach and a lot of things. Well, it's 3 o'clock, so my wife's going to come bursting in here at some point. She's on a phone call with a customer of hers, I believe. But she's going to come in here and say, it's time to go at any moment. We need to go City Hall, take care of some stuff. The bank and this and that. Let's see, we want to go to stamina. Major stamina socket. And back to you. Major strength socket. Sun's beaming in here. It's getting harder to see these. I was looking at, I heard a couple people talking about the ketogenic diet too, and how, and that was, back in the day it was, they called it the Atkins diet. I think that was more just protein, which is pretty much the ketogenic diet, right? Fats, lipids and fats and proteins, stuff are fine. Just no carbohydrates. And, donuts for breakfast are good. We made pancakes like a week ago. Poured syrup all over them. I keep my butter in the fridge, unfortunately. At my grandma's house, it used to always be out on the counter, so it would just melt right onto those pancakes. Or what were they? Yeah, waffles. Waffles back in the day. Ooh, you can make some tasty waffles. But everything in moderation, right? Nothing wrong with a donut here and there, as long as you don't go crazy. Major intelligence socket. Major dexterity. Did we get agility? They don't actually do very good donuts here in Japan. That's one of the bummers. There are some foods, like Mexican food. It's really hard to find Mexican food in Japan. And who doesn't love burritos and tacos and, quesadillas? Anything made with a tortilla is just delicious. That's one of my biggest concerns. I've got a lot of Mexican spices because I have to make it myself like once a month or I go crazy. Salsas, refried beans, all that. But there's no... Donuts are kind of boring over here. They're all like... they're just too healthy, I think, is the problem. This is not how you spell dexterity. Dexterity. What is it? Like an apple fritter, or like a bear claw, or they have the maple bars. They don't have any of that stuff over here. It's a bummer. I'd make them if I knew how to. I've actually looked into how to make maple bars a few times and never really just sat down to do it. Because, man, those things are just terrible for you, but they're delicious. I could eat one of those a day. Get fat and be happy. This is back to wisdom. So did we get everybody? Major wisdom socket. Let's sort by, let's see, what do we got? You've got one. Apprentice determination. Oh, that's the set. And then I don't have these, that's fine. Ardor, that's another set. Dodge, energy, we don't have. Healing, we got. Health, we don't have. Intelligence, light. We need light. That's probably gonna look... We'll have to make something for that, I think. There's a whole nother folder here, too. But yeah, I think that'll want to look different. But anyway. Stamina, strength, dexterity, intelligence. That looks a little funky, but whatever. Yeah, that one looks funky. Let's look at this. Whoops. No, just go away. Yeah, that looks better. Anyway. Agility. Still looks pretty red. Where's strength? Strength and agility. Yeah, that looks pretty. Did I mess with this guy? I don't think I did. I forget. You need to be a little bit more orangey. Maybe, there we go. Then I want to churn some of your reds down, I believe. A little more yellowy. A little too much yellow, I think. And I probably didn't want to get rid of all that red either. No, that was what I was trying to get away from originally. I think I'm gonna have to grab onto these guys. There we go. Tone you down a little. Yeah, that looks a lot more orange. I'm being fussy, it doesn't matter, but stamina, strength, wisdom, agility, dexterity, intelligence, stamina, strength, wisdom. All looks pretty good. So let's see. For one thing, I'm going to have to tell all of those to be sprites. And I think I can just select the whole folder, honestly. Make sure they're all sprites. No, not going to let me do that. Okay. I had some snacks here I was going to get started on. And I do buy healthy snacks. I actually ordered some ranch Doritos yesterday night. You can't get ranch Doritos in Japan, and it's probably one of the worst foods I ever eat, but man, those are tasty. And I actually found some on Amazon. You could buy like one bag of ranch Doritos for like $40 because they're shipping it overseas or something like that. But I actually found it was like a little party pack set with like 10 little mini bags in it for like an actual normal $9 or something. I'm looking forward to that. But I got banana chips and little cracker thing here that trying to be healthy. Let's take a peek though. I'm going to tell it to not start up on its own so I can peek into multiplayer world, and I don't want to save once I get into here. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I think it's because there are some people that actually buy them because you can't get them over here. But you know, they're like shipping them from on boat from America or something ridiculous. This is gonna save anyway, isn't it? Not a big deal. Let's travel to... I just know that there's a lot of chests of stuff in this level. I think Art might have some enchanted stuff I could peek at, hopefully. But yeah, I'm not paying $40 for some Doritos. But I found some that were... They've always had like the Frito-Lays. There we go. See, yeah, he's got dexterity in there. So I can select this. Oh, it didn't turn off that. That's a problem. But now I can take this out, and the gem is now there, and I could move it into here if I wanted to. So you can move these around freely now, so that's cool. That's all I wanted to look at in there. I do definitely want to turn that chest off, though. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, not that amazing as much as I like them. $51 for a pack of 3 bags. So that's $17 a bag. And $8 shipping. It's like, I don't think so. I don't know why. They've got nacho cheese. They've got, what is it? It's like pizza flavored or something. I don't like them. It's like Mexican spicy flavor or something like that. I don't even eat the cheese ones anymore. I only eat the, they have salt flavor over here. It's just light salt tortillas, which you can't, I would prefer that they weren't Doritos, like, just normal tortilla chips, but they don't, just people don't eat them over here. People eat potato chips if they're going to eat chips. So there's just, it's like Pringles. Yeah, look at this. Old El Paso tortilla chip for $10. I'm not paying $10 for a bag of chips. Come on. Yep. It's unfortunate. They just not down with the tortilla chips over here. It's just that people don't know about them. They're not a thing to buy. People don't know how tasty they can be. I really like just plain. They're the big size, the normal sized big ones, but I had something to say and I lost it, but whatever. I'm gonna sign off here though. Once again, like I said, we got to get to the bank. Even if my wife doesn't get off of her phone call, we do have some things. I'm going to have to get her off her phone call if she doesn't hear in a minute. Bank and city hall tax, yada yada, this and that we need to take care of. This is me reminding myself I need to pay my taxes for Big Kitty Games, Department of Revenue, before the end of the month, which is today. I did renew all my licenses and paid my annual taxes, filed my annual report, renewed my business license. But there's I have to do it for 2 countries, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. Because I'm an American citizen, and I own an American company, but I'm also a citizen of the city that I live in here. I don't know, maybe citizen isn't the right word. I don't know. But I live here, so, I have to pay taxes because this is where my income comes in, like, to me. When I make money, it actually, my salary is considered as paid to me in Japan. And I drive on the roads and, whatever, so I have to pay taxes over here. So it's kind of convoluted, but I don't pay citizen taxes in America because I don't make any money in America. But I have to pay business taxes in America because that's where all my business money goes. And actually, I don't really have to pay any taxes because Valve, which handles Steam, takes care of most of the taxes. They charge you sales tax depending on what state you're paying from. And then they file that on my behalf. And then they take 30% out of everything that I make, which is a bummer. But wouldn't have customers and all the tools that they do provide without them. So it's hard to complain. Would be nice if, they bumped it down to 20% or something like that. But I've finally kind of figured it out. There is just a few things that you need to do, and like I have to renew my visa every 3 years, and I've been here for 10 years now, so I could apply for a permanent visa, I believe. But I'm married, so it actually doesn't matter. I just have to fill out the form, and then they give me another 3 years. I think I have to renew my license this year. Yeah, my visa's good till 2023 and all of this. But anyway, time is ticking, so here's Tabby come to see us. Yeah, hi kitty. Say bye. So I might be on tomorrow, probably not. Oh yeah, I probably won't, because wife's not working tomorrow. She works Saturdays a lot, but she's not working tomorrow, which is Saturday here in Japan. Cat on the keyboard. Not a good thing. Don't step on the keyboard. But I'll be back. Worst case scenario, I will be back on Tuesday. Thanks for chatting with me, John, Veronica. Wish you guys well, wherever you are, Silicon Valley or not. And we'll be patching this stuff into beta later today.